just as promised, here's a video that's going to show you how to scaffold out your next project in seconds using the mean stack. Now, if you've missed the last video, I went ahead and introduced you to the tool. I introduced you to the background of the tool. I even went ahead and gave you some context of how the tool was created. But in this video, we're going to go technical. We're going to write some source code. We're going to make some changes. We're going to look at all these fun things that we're going to be doing with our project here using the mean stack. Now, all of this is 100% free. You can go to meanstack.net and run all the commands. This project, the source code, everything is 100% free. And that has been made possible thanks to everybody that has been giving me support with a like, with a subscribe, with buying my courses, with watching my videos, with reading my content. All of you, I just want to go ahead and say thank you so much. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Here I am in the terminal. You want to do sudo npm install full stack. And you want to do G so you can install this globally. I'm going to go ahead and enter my password here. That's it. That's how fast it is. That is literally the entire package you went ahead and installed now. Now we have the full stack command that we can actually accomplish a couple things here. If you type in full stack, you can see we have an init command, we have a serve, we have version, we have help. And this is the help we're looking at here. And the first thing that I want to do here is actually want to go and initialize my project. So I'm going to say full stack init, and I'm going to call this one my project. And that's the name. Good. That went ahead and scaffolded out an entire project. I'm going to go ahead and move that folder so we can actually go ahead and take a look at the folder. So I'm going to say move my project, and let's move that over to my desktop here. So I'm going to minimize this, bring this over. Here it is. Here's my project here. So as you can see here, it went ahead and scaffolded out all these things for me and went ahead and set up a bin directory, a client folder, a config folder, a server folder, all these things. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull up Visual Studio Code here. And then we're going to go ahead and open up this with Visual Studio. We're actually going to look at the source code here. As you can see here, we have a package.json. And everything starts right here with this package.json here. As you can see here, it went ahead and insert project name right into the actual package.json file. We have a post install here. We have a start command here, and we have the keywords. And as you can see here, here's all dependencies for the project. So what I'm going to do here, so I'm going to minimize this, bring it back to terminal. And as you can see, it says here, cd my project npm install. So I'm going to go into my desktop, my project, and I'm doing npm install here. All done. That went ahead and downloaded all the required packages for our project here. So now we're ready to move on to the next step here. So I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to pull back up our Visual Studio Code editor here. Here I am in Visual Studio Code. And the first thing that I want to do here is actually want to go ahead and show you a couple things that install process went ahead and completed for us. It went ahead and installed typings for us. Now, if you're not using Visual Studio Code, I would highly recommend you to install Visual Studio Code. It makes working with JavaScript super easy, especially with TypeScript and ES6. So if you haven't used Visual Studio Code before, I will highly recommend you to check out Visual Studio Code. I'm including a couple things here in the project that gets scaffolded out. We have this JS Beautify. And as you can see here, it goes ahead and does a couple things here for our JS Beautify process in Visual Studio. And as you can see here, pretty much here is the typings folder. It goes ahead and installs all the typings that are required for our actual mean application. So here's all the typings, tsconfig file. This is actually going to go ahead and set up our TypeScript compiler here to transpile our source code. Right now we're transpiling down to ES5 based on common.js. That's pretty much it for as far as these files. If you want to go ahead and look at some of the more configs, you can go inside the config file here and you can see the actual build process here. You can see the settings here. You can see the Webpack config file there, the server config file there. So let's go ahead and just start with the build.js file. If you click on here, you'll see here's the entire build process that's actually executing all that source code. Now I actually went ahead and put this together for you so you don't have to worry about setting up Webpack. But if you do want to play around with Webpack, there's the settings file here. You can go ahead and change some of these ports and proxies here if you like. So let's go back into this build directory here. As you can see here, we're doing a couple things. We are setting up a Webpack dev server. We're setting up the server config, the client config, and we're spinning up a different child process. Now, if you don't know too much about Webpack, I don't want to bore you with the details here, but what this is going to allow us to do is going to allow us to build our project, run our project, make changes to our project, and see all that happen within the browser. Now I'm actually going to go ahead and show you a demo, and I'll show you some of the cool features that are actually included in your development environment. So pull the terminal back up here. We're going to go ahead and run the command one more time. So we're going to do full stack serve -- serve. Okay, so that goes ahead and kicks off that build process that I mentioned to you earlier. It goes ahead and sets up a proxy for us. It goes ahead and sets up an instance of the actual application running. And now we actually have a build process completed with Webpack. At this point, we now have a working application. So if we pull up our browser here and we go over to, voila, we have an actual application built for us. Isn't this freaking cool? All right, so let's go back into Visual Studio here. Here's Visual Studio, and what I want to do here is actually want to go ahead and show you a couple things. But what I want to do here is don't really want to make a server-side change. What I want to make here is I'm going to make a client-side change. Let's go ahead and change the menu. Here's my HTML for the menu. As you can see, here's view all accounts. I just want to say view accounts. Save this. As you can see here, Webpack went ahead and checked. Oh, you made a change? Oh, let me go ahead and refresh the browser for you. Freaking awesome. That's pretty cool. All right, so it goes ahead and bundles up that for you. It goes ahead and refreshes the browser for you. It detects the changes. It goes ahead and changes the actual application. And then it goes ahead and displays you that change. So I want to show you another thing here. So if you go to server side, controllers, let's just go into here, and when this gets displayed, let's go into routes instead. And this is the last viewed, which is this last viewed here. We want view accounts. So here's view accounts. So this is right here. If you look at the URL, it's accounts with an S. So let's go to accounts with an S. Here's accounts with an S. So I'm going to go here. I'm just going to do a simple display message here. Save this. As you can see here, went ahead and transpiled our project here. Now, if we come back, so let's go return to menu. If we go to view accounts, look at this. This is building real time. Ta-da! Isn't that cool? We don't even have to even touch the terminal. The entire build process is actually all automated for you. All you have to do is to start coding and start actually creating changes for your project. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this, delete this, delete this, delete this. So that went ahead and deleted all the data here for the actual application. So if I come back over here, if I save here, and if I do a refresh here, what happened? Oh, I need to build. I need to do an actual change. So let's do another change. Because what I need to do is I need to run the build process one more time. So we can actually go ahead and actually show you that entire application is getting broken down and getting pulled back up every time. So if we do a refresh here, what? All the data is back? Yes, all the data is back. And the reason why all the data is back is because this build process, let me come back over here. So if you go into models here, you'll see that right here, 1, 2, 3. All these 3 accounts get written to the database every time the build process goes ahead and starts up. So every time we do a startup, this script goes ahead and runs, and it goes ahead and initiates the data back. So let's go make this a little bit bigger now. Now, if you're looking at this like, oh, great, Rick, this seems all awesome. Why does this matter? Well, this matters because I save you a bunch of work. You don't have to go worry about any of this. You can just go ahead and see, oh, okay, this is sort of put together for me. It scaffolds out this project for you. It does about 90% of the work for you. So you can literally just get to this point, start building, start transpiling, start writing code, start making something. And that's what's so cool about this tool. Literally one command, it goes ahead and scaffolds out this for you. It shows you how models are created. It shows you how controllers are created. It shows you how routes are handled. It goes ahead and shows you ES6. It shows you all the new features with ES6. I mean, this thing is amazing. I mean, I am the creator of it, so I kind of do like it because I did create it. But again, that's pretty much, that'll do it here for this demo. If you actually want to see the entire application, you want to run it, go ahead and check it out. Run it in the terminal, give it a try, report back any bugs, give me a star on GitHub. And if you like these kind of videos of me just showing you things around the tool, go ahead and give me a like below and let me know what you're going to be building next. All right, talk to you next time.